What's up, good viewers? Welcome back to the Good View Woodworks channel. My name is Nathan, and today we have an awesome project in store for you. Today we are going to be making a pet food and water bowl stand. Check it out. So, two things happened. One, my wife got really tired of the dog food, the dog bowls sitting on the floor by the refrigerator because it just doesn't look good. It looks kind of gross at the same time. And two, Total Boat reached out to me and asked if I would try out some of their epoxy. And so I decided to kill two birds with one stone to make this pretty cool project. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some Total Boat countertop epoxy and this scrap piece of MDF I had laying around. We're gonna make this awesome food and water bowl stand. Here we go. All right, now that we got our piece, cut to the rough size, 20 inches wide, 10 inches tall, go ahead and lay out our circles. And I'm gonna show you how to do that pretty easily. Find the dead center, which is from 20 inches. It's here at 10. And we want a couple inch gap in between. So we'll mark the center, take our square, mark a line. And now we have two quadrants. And what we do to find the center of these is we take our straight edge and we line it up to the corners here. Mark a line. Same thing on the other side. There's the center of that circle. Same thing on this side. Take our square. And right there where the two lines intersect is the center of that square. So we got 5 inches there. 5 inches there. Centered. All right, the next step is we're going to take our dog bowl and we're going to go ahead and trace it to see what size circle we need to cut. So we want the bowl to sit down into it but catch this little lip. And so this is right at 7.5 inches and the lip is about 1/8 of an inch. So 1/8 of an inch means 1/4 inch off the radius. We have 7.5 inches minus 1/4 inch makes 7.25 inches. So we need to make our circles 7.25 inch. You got it? All right, now that we got our compass to make our circles, we need to know what the radius is going to be, and because our diameter is 7.25, then our radius is going to be half of that. So half of 7.25 would be 3 5/8. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make this thing 3 5/8. I'll go ahead and I'll link all of these tools that I'm using down in the description below so you guys can do the same thing that I'm doing. Super easy and super fun at the same time. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our drill with a 1/2 inch drill bit and we're gonna drill close to the line, but on the inside of the line. All right, the next thing is, we're gonna take our jigsaw. We're gonna go ahead and cut these daggone circles out. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut out that second circle, and I'll get right back with you. How you like my dust mask? America. Nice, it fits perfectly. All right, so now what we're gonna do, I hope Total Boat doesn't get mad at me for getting sawdust on their hat. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this thing ready to epoxy. And what we're gonna use to do that is I'm gonna take some sandpaper and lightly scuff these edges here to get all the burrs off. And we want to round over all these edges here, top and bottom. Now it's time to get some paint on this bad boy. All right, guys, now we got our paint and primer in one, and this color right here is called Calm, which is almost like a white. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little foam roller and we're gonna put 2 coats of this on. All right, guys, now that we have 2 coats on there, we're gonna go ahead and let this dry. We're gonna go ahead and let that dry, and we'll be back here when it's dry to get that epoxy on. All right, guys, so now that our board is dry, the paint is dry, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and scuff sand the top because it's a little bit rough. We're gonna scuff sand it with 220. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some isopropyl alcohol and put it in this spray bottle. Just add a little bit in there. This is just 91% isopropyl alcohol. Then we're gonna take a little bit of Black Diamond Pure White Metallic. Gonna add some in there. Okay, now we're ready. Now we're ready for some epoxy. All right, I've got some Total Boat resin and Total Boat hardener. And this is the high performance epoxy resin, the slow cure kind. It's with the slow cure hardener. And what's really cool is they have the pumps on here. So even though it's a 2-to-1 mix ratio, the pump automatically dispenses the correct ratio. So you do 1 pump of blue and 1 pump of red, and you have the right mixture. It's really, really cool. So we're gonna go ahead and start mixing this stuff up. Need to get some gloves. And we're supposed to mix for 2 minutes. Just remember, when you mix, make sure you scrape the sides and make sure you scrape the bottom as well when you mix. All right, guys, we're gonna take a little bit of white spray paint and we're gonna go ahead and spray some of this directly in to our epoxy. All right, so you can see what it looks like. Go ahead and mix this up. Nice and white. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get this stuff onto our substrate. We're gonna take our brush here, get the epoxy soaked up in it. Some epoxy in here. We're gonna go ahead and coat the edges. All right, now that our edges are coated, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our stir stick and we're gonna take a little bit of black spray paint. If you see any like low spots or anything, you just wanna dab it with your finger. All right, we're gonna take our stir stick. We're just gonna spray a little bit of black on it. And then we're gonna drag this through. Okay, to do that, we're going to take our brush. We're just going to chop it. See how that's starting to look really, really cool, like marble? Yeah, I'm liking that. A little bit right there. Nice. Okay. Doesn't that look really cool? It's looking really, really pretty. So we're gonna take our alcohol with our pearl in it, and we're gonna go ahead and give it a little spritz. Nice. It's looking really, really cool. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of this Rust-Oleum glitter, and I'm just gonna lightly mist it on to give it a little bit of just get a little bit of color. All right, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this thing sit. This thing is looking awesome. That sucker is nice. I know my wife's gonna think it's real pretty. All right, now that we got the bottom sanded, we can go ahead and start to make the legs. Now, my wife wanted to do a more mid-century modern, So that's what we're gonna go for. We're gonna do a little mid-century modern walnut leg base for this thing. It's gonna be really cool. Check it out. All right, guys, this wraps up part 1 of the pet food and water bowl video. So this, I'm just put the bowl in here so you guys can get an idea of what it's gonna look like. But do me a favor and look at, click the link in the description for the Total Boat Epoxy. See Total Boat right here, hook me up with this awesome hat and stuff. Click the link in the description to grab some Total Boat Epoxy. And then for the next video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the legs to complete this awesome stand. Hopefully my pup likes it. I don't think she'll care. It's mostly for us, but that's okay. So guys, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and also hit the like button if you like this video. Do me a favor and put a comment down in the comment section. And as always, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. And if you made it to the end of this video, the reason why we're making it in 2 parts is because I cut my dang finger. And
6 stitches.
It got 6 stitches, yep. I cut it on this chisel. My chisel's sharp, but my wit is not very sharp.
Hence the joke.
So anyway, guys, that's why we make it in 2 parts. And once my finger heals up, once my finger heals up a little bit, we will make the frame and the legs to hold this thing up. So guys, do me a favor and keep a lookout for part 2.